This section is about how to add manual documents to a VAT return. So when you want to add a manual document to your VAT return, you just go to Return, Open Returns, find your VAT return based on the period that you're working with. Again, keep in mind that if you have a quarterly return, then you will have to choose the last month of the quarter to be able to see your VAT return. And then you click on Details, just as if you would go in and check the numbers in your VAT return. And that's when you will see manual documents right under the box list. So if you have, for example, a C79 that you want to include and you don't want to create a separate generic template to upload, then you can just add it using manual documents by clicking on it, and a separate window will pop up. So it will ask you to select if you want to include a sales or a purchase transaction. It will include the company and the country already based on what return you have opened. You choose the currency, you choose the transaction date and the invoice date. You add any reference you want to see. It can be an invoice number, it can be the number on the C79, whichever you want. And of course, the reporter cannot be changed as the person who has been dealing with this and is logged in will appear here. Then you scroll down, and underneath the VAT return section, you will see Add VAT box. So in order to be able to add a transaction to your VAT return, you will need to know the box where you want to include that amount in. So this is not going to be based on a VAT code, it's going to be based on the boxes that you select. So let's say I want to include a taxable basis for the monthly or quarterly return. You can see that as soon as I click on the box name, it will only list the boxes that contain taxable basis. So I'm just going to choose one of them, include 1,000, and I say add. You can keep total taxable basis on document and total VAT on document 0. You will see here under VAT return, it will list the first thing that I added. Of course, you can remove anything anytime if you feel that what you added wasn't correct. If I click on VAT, you will see that only the VAT boxes will appear here. So I'm going to add 200 to box 2. I'll say add. You can see the second line appeared. So if you're happy with everything that you added, then you just say submit. And a line on top will appear that says manual document successfully created for status. Click here. So if I click there, again, I will be directed to the processed documents. It will tell me if it wasn't processed, the only reason that can happen is that you already closed the period, and it would need reopening for you to be able to add a manual document. So if I go back to the returns, and again, select March, and the VAT return. If I go into box 7, you can see that there's manual correction here. So if I click on it, it will direct me to transactions. Transactions here, you can see that the invoice number itself starts with manual correction. It will put in whatever you put in under reference. I put in training. It will add the date and the time and the person who did the manual adjustment. So you'll see everything here. Okay, and it will also appear, if I go back, under VAT return by transactions. If I go, you can see it's on the top line. But if I go into purchases, cut, so you can see it's the top line, and it tells you that it was included in the return. So if you click on the transaction, then it will show you the invoice number. And if you scroll down, then you will see which boxes it was included